Every year, people always want to be healthy for their New Year's resolution, but they often end up failing. This is because they might think that it's too hard, it takes up too much time, and it might break the bank. Now, those don't have to be the case, and I'm gonna show you how you can make a healthy breakfast burrito that's flavorful, packed full of protein, and it's not gonna break your bank. Let's get saucy. Now, this recipe is so simple. It's only 4 ingredients, so it's gonna be one of the easiest burritos you've ever made in your life. Now, you can adjust this recipe to a specific diet that you're doing, or if you wanna add a few extra toppings. So we're gonna start by going ahead and cracking some eggs into our bowl here. Now, if you want it to be really healthy, you can go ahead and take out the yolks. It'll take out some fat content for the eggs, but we're gonna just go full hand and get some of that fat in there. We work out, so it's not gonna be too much of a big deal. Make sure you don't get any shells in here. If you do, just pick those little guys out. We're gonna go ahead and finish up cracking all of these eggs, and then we're gonna whisk these up to make sure they're nice and combined. And then to add a little bit of flavor, we're gonna add some special seasonings to it. And for our seasonings, we're just gonna use a garlic and herb seasoning to start off with. Garlic, and it has a good baseline of herbs that you can use. Then we're gonna use a little bit of chives. It's similar to like an onion, but it's not overpowering. So if you don't like onions, a chive would be much of a better option for you. And then to stay very simple, we're just gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Now, sometimes, depending on who you are, black pepper can add some spice, so use it at your own risk. And then of course, we're just gonna top it off with a little bit of salt to tie all of these flavors together. Be careful with the salt because salt does dry out moisture. So it might have a weird watery effect whenever you're cooking it. You'll see a lot of that liquid go out into the pan, which could dry out your egg. So to start off with in our pan, we're just gonna add a touch of butter. You don't wanna add too much because this is a healthy burrito. We're just adding enough in here to make sure that our sausage doesn't stick. We're gonna roll our pan around to make sure that we get the butter in as much of the pan as possible. And then once you feel like you have enough butter in the bottom of the pan, just go ahead and add your sausage in. What's really important is whenever you're cooking sausage or really any type of meat inside of a pan, make sure that your pan is very hot. You don't want there to be silence in the pan whenever you're adding anything to it. You always want to hear that sizzling because that means your pan is hot, which is going to give you a better Maillard reaction, which is going to equal more flavor in the long run. And then what I'm doing right now, I'm just breaking it up because the more we have it broken up, that's more contact that the meat can have with the pan, which again will equal more flavor. Now, as you can see, I've broken it up a little bit. We're gonna let this heat up and get nice and hot. Then we're gonna add some seasonings to it so that way we have more flavor than what comes in it. We wanna make sure that not only this is healthy, we wanna make sure that it tastes very good whenever we're eating it. I know I said the pan should be hot, but I would like to say do as I say, not as I do. You can see a lot of that moisture is boiling the meat. This shouldn't be a problem because I have cranked up the heat, so this is going to evaporate very quickly, allowing the fat to work its magic with the Maillard reaction. I know we have this idea that healthy food tastes bad, but it doesn't always have to be the case. You can always add flavors to your meals, making them taste very good. Oftentimes I see people thinking that taking away salt from a meal will help you lose weight, when that's not the truth. Salt is there to add flavor, so whenever you're taking that away, you're not going to want to eat the food that you're making that's healthy. We're gonna go ahead and season this with a little bit of Italian seasoning. I know this isn't an Italian meal, but I always feel like whenever you're cooking, Italian seasoning has like a really good baseline of herbs that you can use, which make everything taste very good. And then we're just gonna finish it with some black pepper. And I'm gonna show you something here. You're gonna see where it's actually starting to brown. And that's really what you're looking for whenever you're cooking any type of meat, because you can see the part that's gray, but you really want that Maillard reaction in your pan. So you may be wondering why I'm not cooking the eggs inside of the sausage. And really that's because I want to control exactly what goes in each burrito, because if you mix everything together and you don't mix it well, you might have some bites where there's all egg, no sausage, or you might have all sausage and no egg. So if you cook it separately, it's just a better way for you to control it whenever you're building your burritos. So now that we've got our sausage nice and brown, we're just gonna go ahead and remove it from the pan. We're gonna add it into our bowl right here. And then once we have everything removed, we're gonna start cooking our eggs. In the theme of keeping this dish simple, we're trying to make as few dishes as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and use the same pan that we had the sausage in. This is also gonna add a touch more flavor into the eggs as well. If you want to add more protein, you can always mix in a little bit of cottage cheese. I would avoid adding any type of cream or milk just because that has an excess amount of fat that's going to cause you to have more calories, which can make this burrito not healthy very quickly. So now that the eggs are done, we're going to start constructing our burrito by putting all these ingredients together. The first thing that we're going to do is with our tortilla, since this isn't a real tortilla and it's low carb, we're going to need to heat this up just a little bit so that way it doesn't explode whenever we're rolling our burrito. Now to construct this burrito, we're just gonna add a little bit of eggs. I'm not too concerned on the macros, just kind of keep it to an average amount. And this should be a very healthy option compared to going to Burger King or McDonald's, because this is gonna get you quick and out the door. So we're gonna get some eggs, a little bit of sausage. Then we're gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of fat-free cheese. Then after you have all your ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and roll this up like a Taco Bell professional. And then that is how you make a healthy burrito. For storage, I like to wrap them in foil and place them in the fridge for up to a week. Or you can make a bigger batch and place them in the freezer for up to a month. And then whenever you're ready for your healthy burrito, pop it in the microwave for a few minutes and your burrito is done. Guys, let me know if you liked the video. Comment down below what are some of the healthy snacks you guys like to have, and so that way you can help somebody out in the new year. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Stay saucy.